Hey, what's going on guys? It's Vid Shadow here, and today I'm bringing you a Big Team Battle Heavies game on the map Boneyard from Halo Reach. It's a pretty good game. I'm not going to be talking about it at all, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to be talking about Halo 4 and my thoughts on it after watching a lot of gameplay, especially from the multiplayer side of things, and the small E3 demo of the single player that they showed. I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on what I've seen basically, and all the features they've added in, and all the stuff that they've brought back. So we'll talk about the multiplayer first, because that's obviously the main thing. When you talk about Halo, you talk about its multiplayer. So, and from what I've seen, obviously they got a few MLG pros to come in and play some of the multiplayer. The multiplayer looks absolutely fantastic. I was a little bit worried about the multiplayer when I heard some of the things that 343 were planning to do for it, and I'm happy to say I'm not even worried anymore. I'm generally more excited, because all the things that I saw in the multiplayer that they were showcasing on MLG looked epic. They didn't look like it was any problems or anything, so it generally looked like a really good multiplayer experience. Like, the armor abilities this year look really good. The thing is, the armor abilities were a good idea, but they were just implemented very poorly, much like Bloom. Bloom was a nice idea, but Bungie just implemented them very poorly. And I'm happy to say that both those things, actually, armor abilities in Halo 4 look like 343 are implementing them correctly. They're not making them annoying or game breaking or anything. They're just making them a tool that you can use in order to assist you or your team. That's it, and that's all an armor ability should really be. It shouldn't be a game-breaking piece of shit like the jetpack was, that completely cut out all sort of map geometry or everything. It should just be there as a tool to assist you, and I'm happy to say that most of the armor abilities that I saw, I think I saw all of them, I'm not sure, but most of the ones that I saw, I didn't see all of them. I didn't see active camo, but most of the ones that I saw, or all the ones that I saw, looked really good. Like, they didn't look annoying or broken. They generally looked really good. So I know that, I know that one that a lot of people were concerned about was Promethean Vision, saying it was a retarded idea. Well, it doesn't look a retarded idea at all, actually. It generally looks like a really good idea. I think its range needs to be reduced slightly, but the actual whole idea around Promethean Vision, the way that it was being used by the pros and everything, it looks like it has no problems at all. It looks like it has its use, and you use it, that's about it. So the armor abilities look good this year, that's what I'm going to say. They look good, they look usable, and they don't look game breaking or annoying or retarded at all. So I mentioned Bloom in that, so again, Bloom is back, but only for weapons like the DMR and the pistol, I believe, which again, 343 are doing it right, because the DMR in Halo 4 is going to be designed to take out people from extremely long ranges. Now, that's the reason why they've put Bloom in, because they've said that basically the DMR in Halo 4 excels at taking out people from long range. So I think what they've done is they've added in Bloom to make it sure that you can do that, but you can't do it ridiculously easy and like just spam it across the map and take down everyone without no problem at all. So I think it's a good idea that they've added Bloom into the DMR only. The BR doesn't have it, which is perfect, because my god, if the BR had Bloom, they'd be absolute outrage and rioting on the fucking streets. So I'm glad that they've just added it on the DMR to the correct way. They've also added it on the pistol, which again, I'm glad that they've added it in the correct way as well, because the pistol on Halo 4 is obviously back to the normal Halo pistol, I believe. It's very powerful. So they've added in Bloom to make sure you can't just spam it and get ridiculously easy kills. So the way that they've added Bloom this year on Halo 4 is the proper and correct way to implement it, and I think 343 have done a really good job this year by the looks of it, of how they're implementing and using Bloom. So I'll talk about the ordnance drops. The ordnance drops have been likened to Call of Duty's kill streaks, which is just a load of bollocks and rubbish, because they're nothing like Call of Duty's kill streaks at all. The ordnance drops is just a nice little system where you basically got a number of points for doing things like headshotting people, double kills, multi-kills in general, whatever, beating down, stuff like that, and you build up like a bar, and then it would announced to you that you have an ordnance drop available. And the ordnance drops are just very simple. They're just basically a little bonus feature that you earn, and you call in whatever one you wanted, and you get 3 choices. You get 2 weapon choices, and you get a power-up choice, which is power-ups varied from things like speed boost to over shields, and then maybe there was definitely some more in there, but I never got to see them. Oh, excuse me, I just stopped yawning. So yeah, ordnance drops were a nice little idea. Again, looked absolutely fine, no problems to them at all. To me, it looked like a cool little feature. What else can I talk about in the multiplayer? Oh, the one thing that I'm extremely happy about is that they finally added in a hit detection system that tells you when you're actually hitting the enemy. It took them way too long to implement this, and I'm finally chuffed that they've actually implemented it. Because one of the biggest problems with Halo 3 and Halo Reach that you could be shooting someone on your screen and they'd be lighting up, and you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm hitting them, I'm doing damage, but in the real world of it, I guess you can call, your shots weren't actually registering, and it was extremely frustrating. It really was. So I'm glad that they've actually put a system in that tells you when your shots are hitting and when they're registering. You know, thank God they've finally done that, because it's like a prime example on Halo Reach. If you shoot someone with a sniper and you get a bloodshot, so annoying, it's unbelievable, especially when you headshot them, or where you shoot them once and one shot registers, and then you shoot them again but the next shot is a bloodshot. It's seriously frustrating and annoying, and I'm glad that they finally added in a feature that tells you when your shots are actually hitting the enemy. So extremely glad that they've added that in. What else can I talk about? The weapons, all the weapons and what I saw looked awesome. Most of them just looked the same, but again, they still looked awesome. So I can really say about that. Yeah, the BR was back, it looked epic. The DMR was back, looked good. Didn't get to see the sniper, which I was a bit annoyed about, but you know, wasn't too much of a shame. Rockets look cool this year. They've added like a like a smoke trail to the rockets now that stays around a bit longer, so you can sort of get an indication on how, not how, but where the rocket actually was shot from. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, most of the weapons from what I saw looked really good. The new Promethean / Forerunner ones, as well, like the scatter shot and the light rifle, they looked pretty awesome. Especially the scatter shot, where you can bounce them around walls and stuff. That was pretty cool. So yeah, the new weapons look brilliant. The maps, again, only saw I think 3 of them. Not too sure, but the map design looks brilliant as well. You know, they've actually maps this year are actually built from the ground up to be multiplayer maps. So that's really, really good from 343. It's not a very cheap effort like Bungie did on Halo Reach, where they just took maps from the campaign and used them as multiplayer. That's a really cheap Call of Duty style method, that. So I'm glad that 343 has said, no, we're going to build maps for the multiplayer from the ground up. So really pleased about that. That's pretty much all I can really talk about for the competitive, if you want to call it, side of the multiplayer. Spartan Ops, didn't really see anything about that, the trailers and everything, but I've got to say that, and from the sounds of it, what they're doing to it and what their plans are for it is going to be pretty epic. It sounds like it's going to last for a long time. It sounds like a pretty sort of separate game, so it's pretty cool, Spartan Ops. Oh god, stop yawning. Spartan Ops looks really nice idea, and looks like it could last a good amount of time. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can mention for the multiplayer. I think I talk about loadouts as well. There were loadouts in Halo 4 again, likened to Call of Duty. Everyone's saying it's copying Call of Duty. Load of bollocks again. I'm pretty sure loads of games have had loadouts before Call of Duty. The good thing I like about Halo 4 having it is that the fact that Halo 4 is obviously going to have different size maps, so you could customise your loadout for specific map sizes. So I think loadouts is a cool idea. It's pretty slick to use, and it definitely have its benefits. Having sprint as default, again, a lot of people moaned about that. I just tell them to shut the fuck up, because having this sprint as a default is perfectly fine. You know, you're a genetically enhanced super soldier, for Christ's sake. Why shouldn't you be able to sprint? You know, I mean, come on. Another nice little feature was the way that it now tells you where grenades are when they've been thrown at you. You know, they give you like an indicator where the grenade is. Just a little cool idea. It's nice that they finally added that in. Yeah, overall, not too many like massive changes to talk about. The more noticeable ones, obviously, I've sort of all mentioned, and they all seem to be working really well, so can't complain about them. So I'll talk about the single player quickly now. Obviously, you only saw the E3 single player demo, so that's all we can really cover on. But the first thing that struck me about it when I first saw the actual gameplay start on that dome was graphics. The graphics of Halo 4 this year look absolutely stunning. The new engine that they are using is a proper good engine. You know, Halo's never been a game that was sort of graphically incredible. It had very nice graphics, but you know, we're talking graphically incredible like Battlefield or Crysis here, and Halo 4, you know, looks up there. Probably not as good as those two games, but its engine really is, you know, it's climbed up there now. It's definitely a performer for graphics. So yeah, graphically incredible the game looks. The new enemies look epic as well. The new Promethean / Forerunners, whatever they're called, they look awesome. You know, the Promethean Knight, the Watcher, and the Crawler, I think it's called. They look like they're going to be really good fun to verse. They all have their own tactical smartness to them, and all have their own tactical weakness that you'd have to sort of uncover and utilise against them. So yeah, I think the new enemies this year look pretty fucking cool. Covenant look their normal standard. They look how that you would know the Covenant. You know, they've a few tweaks to them, but at the end of the day, they're the Covenant. They're still going to be badass to face. So yeah, the single player of the game, from what I saw very briefly, looks like it's going to be epic fun this year in a standard Halo campaign. The Halo campaigns have always been good, so I think Halo 4 is just going to carry on this edition, but this one does really look like it's going to be proper ramped up and epic fun. The sound of the game also sounds brilliant as well, like the weapon sounds and the soundtrack to it generally sounds very impressive so far, so got that a lot from the multiplayer as well. You can definitely feel the sound effects in every way, you know, it sort of feels like you're probably shooting weapons and everything, so yeah, the sound of the game sounds brilliant. So, but anyway guys, that's pretty much my thoughts on the game so far. I'm absolutely stoked for the game now. I cannot wait until it comes out. I think it's going to be absolutely epic and awesome on a whole other level. Let me know what you think. You know, are you, from what you've seen so far, you know, do you really think Halo 4 is back to its roots and this one's going to be epic this year, or are you not happy about certain stuff or whatever? You know, just lend me your opinion and yeah, tell me what you think. But anyway, this is pretty much the end of this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm glad that you're subscribing or you're liking videos or whatever you're doing. So anyway guys, I'll catch you guys in another video. Take it easy and have a great day.